Okay, I think I've got this down. Ready? It's alright, officer. He hit me in the prune. Thought I had it. Anyways, Problem Child 2. Same case because it's a tantrum pack of both movies. Yes, there was a third film, but since I had no access to it, I don't have to review it. Also, I didn't grow up with it, so... Sorry. So, we have it. Problem Child 2 taking place 1 year after the first film. And I realized while watching this, I forgot to mention in the first film that Gilbert Gottfried played the head of the adoption agency where Flo and little Ben got Junior. You know. He's in this, he's the school principal now. Yep. Somehow. So, a year later, and little Ben and Junior are leaving their hometown because of all the bad things that happened in the first film that were mostly Junior's fault, but you know. So now it's a father and son movie, and then we get to the part where now all of a sudden little Ben thinks he needs a new woman in his life to make the family whole, despite the fact that the former woman in his life made it terrible. And Junior sees to taking out these women, and he wants to get rid of them. He electrocutes one of them. He calls the first one that he goes out with. He calls her ex-husband. And the ex-husband shows up, and then it is kind of funny how little Ben is driving home, and she's making out with the ex-husband in the back seat while he's driving. I guess. And then he gets home, and Junior is recording, videotaping his babysitter and her boyfriend having sex. PG-13 sex, so we get like underpants and stuff like that. No nudity. But, yeah, just... And it's like all over the front of the house. By the way, let's talk about this house. This new neighborhood they move into is so fake. The house, now, I for one can say there are houses that are this blue because I used to live in one. It's a terrible shade of green now, but it's blue, and the plants, the flowers on the outside are totally fake, and you can tell. It's just a fake house, fake neighborhood, everything. And, yeah, Junior just wants it to be him and his dad. And then Big Ben shows up. Despite the fact that they didn't tell him where they were. They just left town. He shows up with Nippy the dog, whose crowning achievement in this film is getting hypnotized to be a statue, and then when he's woken up by dog food, he takes a giant shit. Even Jeff Goldblum would say, that's one big pile of shit. Twice. There's one at the end of the film, too. But now we have a new female villain. A female antagonist, so to speak. Not Flo, although I still hate her. Wanda Dumore. LaWanda Dumore. Excuse me. Played by Laraine Newman from Saturday Night Live. It's possible I hate her more than Flo. And I hate fucking Flo. But yes. Now, Little Ben wants to marry LaWanda because he wants a mother for Junior. Big Ben wants Little Ben to marry LaWanda because his ass is broke and they need the money. But why does LaWanda want to marry Little Ben? She hates children. She's planning on sending Junior to a boarding school. Why does she want to marry Little Ben? Because, unless she's totally fucking stupid, even after they got married, he's not gonna let her send Junior to a boarding school. no matter how bad Junior gets in this film. And it does get bad, but they also introduce a female troublemaker little girl, Trixie, who's got the most evil little face I've ever seen on any kid. Even Damien. Oh, man. Lily Moo. Shut up, Damien, I'm talking. You mention his name, he starts doing the song. Couldn't hold up to this girl's mean face. There's a scene where they're at the pizza place and they take the picture and everyone's smiling except for Trixie, and she's going in the picture, and it's just like, you know. And yes, so if you haven't figured out the plot of this movie, Ben wants to find a new wife. Junior doesn't want him to. He's gonna get married. Junior's gonna try to stop it because it wants it to be him and his dad. And then at the end of the film, it turns, for like the last 25 minutes, it changes into something else. Because then Junior and Trixie finally realize, oh, they want their parents to be together. Her parent, her mom, being the school nurse, Annie, played by Amy Yasbeck. Yes, I said Amy Yasbeck. The same actress who played Flo. Why? Because she is John Ritter's real-life wife. And much like Kirk Cameron, she plays his wife in most of his films. I think Fireproof is the only one that I saw where she wasn't playing his wife. She was in the movie, but she wasn't playing his wife. Kirk Cameron, I mean. But yeah, I understand, man. I want my wife to play my wife. Or my girlfriend, love interest, you know. But the problem is, it's the same actress. And so, how do you counteract this? Oh, we'll put her in a brown wig and some glasses. Hey, works for Superman. Wearing glasses. As a kid, there was something about this that gnawed on me all the time. Like, what? Why does she look like the same person from the first one? And how do they not recognize that she's Flo? I always thought maybe it was Flo and she's gonna like take off you know, I don't know. Which means she had to have kidnapped a little girl because she can't have children. I don't know. It's all messed up. Which, by the way, they do say at the beginning of this that they divorced. So they must have recovered her from the pig pen, I guess. But yes, and so this whole thing with Junior is stopping the wedding from happening, and this is what leads me to my biggest problem with this. So, Junior, at first, switches LaWanda's blood with that of a rabid dog. We never see it happen, and it's done so quickly. She said she had a blood test at 1 o'clock. So he had to have gone in there, switched the blood, done something. That doesn't work. They're still going to get married. So he switches the charts to give her plastic surgery to have a big old nose. And somehow, she has had emergency surgery to fix it. And her face is fucking perfect. No bandages, no marks, nothing. Just nothing. I call bullshit. I call bullshit. She would have to, if it was last minute, she said it was $300 and something thousand, last minute surgery. Last minute. She would have bandages on her face. Bandages. I'm sorry. The plausibility. I refuse to believe that she would not at least have bandages on her face from that. And, so Junior and Trixie come across this love rock that's going to bring their parents together, but it doesn't seem to work. So Trixie takes the love rock on a bulldozer that she somehow gets and drops it, which squashes LaWanda. Yay. And then, because of this, little Ben decides to marry Annie, or to be with Annie. Big Ben's like, what are you doing? He goes, well, you marry LaWanda. He goes, okay, I will. And so he marries LaWanda because for some reason she doesn't care. She just wants to get married, I guess. And then the dog takes another big shit. Then the movie ends with happy ending. Which, yeah. Trixie's introduction in this is sort of a counter to Junior. And it takes some of the heat off Junior. Like, there's a scene where this puppet show thing, whatever it is destroyed. And Little Ben thinks it was Junior, but it was Trixie. She puts, I think it's an M80 or a cherry bomb in the toilet. And it blows up the teacher, played by James Tolkien from Back to the Future. Slacker. And then you see him later with this big diaper around him. There's this bully named Murphy, or Murph. And he's sort of a bully, but not really. And then we have the scene at the carnival, which I always confused when I was a kid. Thought it happened in Big, but it happened here. Is it similar? It's similar. It's very similar, sort of. Junior wants to get on this ride. He's too short. He can't do it, and he walks away. But Trixie, and this, another... So, Trixie, who is about the same height as Junior, is able to get on there. And she has this evil laugh, and she pulls up her skirt and shows that she has these elevator shoes on. In front of the ride attendant, and he does nothing. Like, she shows that she's big enough, and she walks up the couple steps, lifts it up, laughs, and gets on the ride. There should have been a dude standing right there who saw it, yet nothing is done. And of course, Junior speeds up the fucking thing, and they get the thing rolling around, and there's puke all over the place. And if you know how you have a sensitive stomach, don't watch this scene. But yeah, it's blah, blah, blah. By the way, I forgot to mention, at the end of the film, he does blow up the cake again. But it doesn't explode like in the first one. It just flies off and lands on Big Ben and LaWanda. So, my overall thoughts on this are that it's wacky, it's zany, it's PG-13. But I would venture to say the first one is better. Yes, he's more annoying in the first one, but I think that works well for Junior. So I'm going to give Problem Child 2 and 6. A 6 out of 10. It's decent, it's fine, it's not as good as the first one. But yeah. So, okay, before I go, I'm going to try it again. I'm determined to get this down. It's okay, officer, he shot me in it. Come on! It's okay, officer, he shot me in the prone. Close enough. I had to go cross-eyed for that. It's okay, officer, he shot me in the prone. Even then, I can't stop smiling. But yeah, so that's Problem Child 2. I finished both movies. Maybe at some point I will review the third one if I can ever get my hands on it, but it won't be this month because I didn't grow up with it. I think I've seen like the end of it. All I know of the third one is that they ignore the second one. Like, they're not married. He's not married. Trixie's not mentioned. Big Ben is in it, but there's no LaWanda. Who knows? And he's wearing a bow tie again, despite the fact that he threw it away at the end of the first one. So, who knows? That's really all I know. But, yeah. So what are your thoughts on Problem Child? Come on! What are your thoughts on Problem Child 2? Let me know in the comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I've been Scotty. See you in the next one.